Have you ever wondered what it's like to indulge in dark chocolate treats, but you need it to be gluten-free? Well, today, we're going to be making that. Let's get going. Hey folks, today on K&K's Gluten Free Way, we are going to be making the Simple Mills Almond Flour Chocolate Cake and Muffin Mix. Haven't tried this one before, so this will be new for us. Good news is I found this specific box at Harris Teeter, but you can find it at any of the grocers you go to. Big thing about this, it is an almond flour base. Also, it has some coconut flour, so if you do have a nut allergy, don't consume this. We don't want you to get sick. It's just a box mix, which I'm sure for a lot of gluten-free people is very hard to find, and probably something that it was for me, was very hard to give up when I first found out I had celiac disease. But just being able to find options like this is a lifesaver. This box can make 12 muffins or an 8-inch round cake, so it kind of just depends on which one you want to do. The instructions are on the back of the box, just like any pre-made mix box. So let's go ahead and get going. And for this recipe, you will need 1 box of Simple Mills almond flour, chocolate muffin and cake mix, 3 eggs, 1/3 cup of oil, and the oil will do, 2/3 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. We substituted almond. So for the almond extract that we use today in this recipe, we use the Nielsen Macy brand. Now, what's great about this brand is on the back side, it actually has the certified gluten-free logo on it, which I think is great. You don't have to guess, you don't have to worry. I'm sure McCormick has a gluten-free option, but this is just the one we went with. Found it again at Harris Teeter in the baking section, so we'll let you know if we recommend it. New item, we'll figure out. But again, certified gluten-free, definitely worth it. Now to make the muffin mix. Heat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit if you're using a light colored pan, or 325 degrees Fahrenheit if you're using a dark colored pan. We're using a silicone one. We have preheated to 350 and we will let you know how it turns out. The first ingredients that you're going to combine together are the eggs, oil, water, and extract of your choice. Add to that the bag of mix that's in the box. Next, you need to spoon your batter into your lined muffin tins. We just have little paper ones. I'm sure you could use silicone or the little metal ones, whatever one works for you. You should be able to get 12 muffins. After your oven has preheated, now it's time to put the muffins into the oven. You'll bake them for 15 to 20 minutes. At 15 minutes, you'll want to check them, and to see if they're ready, you can either push the center to see if they bounce back, or you can take a toothpick and put it in there. And if it comes out with just a few crumbs on it, then they're ready. If not, put them back in until the full 20 minutes and test again. Once they're ready, pull them out of the oven, and to make sure that the linings, little cupcake linings, don't stick, you're going to want to let them cool completely. After that, you can either eat them plain as is, or you can top them with frosting. All right, folks, and here we are, almond flour muffins, chocolate muffins to be exact. It took us about 22 minutes to actually cook these versus the recommended 15 to 20. I'm not sure if that's because of the silicone muffin tin that we use instead of like a regular metal baking thing, but we have some right here that are unfrosted. We have some right here that are frosted. And again, you can totally frost if you want to, whatever flavor you're thinking. You can also do a bunch of add-ins, so it just depends. Like I stated in the instructions, let these cool down so the paper doesn't actually stick to them, especially if you are using the little paper muffin wrappers. Let's try a unfrosted one first, just to see how they taste, and then we'll take a bite of a frosted one. I mean, I like frosting, so why not try it? Still a little sticky, but not too bad. All right, here we go. So good news in my opinion, and I find this with a lot of gluten-free cupcakes, Still very fluffy, kind of spongy. So it's got a really interesting texture to it. But I think this is perfect. I can definitely tell that this is chocolate. I'm sure you could still taste the chocolate a little bit more if you added the vanilla extract instead of the almond extract. But this is still really good, and I would definitely recommend, if you don't like frosting, go plain. And then, your add-ins. Now, we are going to try a frosted one. So, same preparation except for the frosting on top. Now, if I could get the paper off. Now the fun part is trying to do this without getting the frosting all up your nose. So here we go. Now I personally like frosting on a lot of stuff like this, baked goods, mostly because I seem to find, if I remember correctly, it's been a couple years now since I've eaten a regular cupcake. They're not always flavored, but the frosting is what has the flavor. But this, I'm sure you can do any frosting you wanted. This is delicious. Definitely a 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today on K&K's Gluten Free Way, where we made almond flour muffins. So hopefully we'll see you guys in the next video. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.